starting shortly. I am excited. We have Mrs. Anna Roseboro in the house today. I'm excited. I sent out about 100 invites again today. Everyone, we'll be starting shortly. I am excited. We have Mrs. Anna Roseboro in the house today.
I'm hearing an echo.
It's finished. All right, everyone. Welcome to our interview and book launch today with Mrs. Anna Roseboro. I am excited as always that she is here with me on this platform. Such a great intellectual and academician that I have had the opportunity to connect with. We are streaming today on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course here live on Zoom. Now we're going to be talking about a few things today, but I really want you to get to meet Mrs. Anna Roseboro. Now, who am I? I am Dr. Annette West. I am the CEO of JATNE Publishing, JATNE Publishing. And it is my honor to present Mrs. Anna Roseboro to everyone on today. And I really want you to give the opportunity to open up and just share a bit about what's going on in your world today, what you are doing, the projects that you have going, and how those things can impact us. So I want you to talk, and if I need to interject, I will, but this is really about you.
Well, thank you very much. I am honored to be here. As she said, I'm Mrs. Anna J. Small Roseboro. I'm married. I'm in my 55th year of marriage. I have children, and I have taught English language arts, public speaking for almost 4 decades. And just a little backstory on how we got together for today. I mentioned that I've taught English for a long time, but since I've retired, I've begun to mentor new teachers, those who are new to teaching in the classroom. And one way that I've learned to keep up with what they're dealing with is to meet once a month online with English teachers across the country. And this happens to be a poetry writing group where one teacher will post a prompt, everyone else will respond, and uh, everyone will post their own poem and then respond to three others. Well, in one of the prompts, I posted a poem called Rainbow Reminders. It was well received, and so I put it in my to-do folder. Maybe I could do something else with it. There you got it, Rainbow Reminders. And over time, I started seeing another lady posting pictures on Facebook. They were always gorgeous pictures of nature, some of her own personal artwork that she had painted. And one day I just took the chance and messaged her and said, Nancy, I see your beautiful paintings. I see your gorgeous photographs of art. Would you be interested in sharing those photographs with me in a book using my poem? Of course, she was a little dubious about the whole thing, but she remembered that I taught at the same school where her sister had taught. And so she says, well, maybe I can do this. And so I contacted Nancy White, who is a retired teacher as well. And she has a grandson who was 4 years old. And so she read my poem to her grandson, and he liked it. And so she says, well, maybe this will work. I've always wanted to know how ebooks are put together. So most of the winter we spent going through her trove of nature pictures, through her photographs of her artwork, and matching them to lines in my poem. And that's how Rainbow Reminders came to be a book, because we were blending her artwork with my poetry. Over that time, I had met Dr. West, and she had included some of my poems in books that she had published. And I said, maybe we can ask Dr. West if she would publish our book under the Jacqueline label. And she had consented to do so. That was a good thing. One of the things, she's an experienced publisher, she ordered a print proof copy of the book. We got the book. I went online. I had pictures taken of me holding the book. And Nancy did the same thing. And she went to one of her colleagues who taught first grade, and she said, look at this gorgeous book. And her friend said, why are you publishing that? That picture's not right. That's not what a rainbow looks like. Look at those colors. My first graders will know that the colors of the rainbow are always in the same order. Roy G. Biv. I said, Roy G. Biv? What's Roy G. Biv? She said they are always red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I said, oh my goodness, we can't put out a book that doesn't have the order of the colors right. And so we went back to Dr. West. Dr. West says, well, one other thing that I've been doing, I showed this book to my grandson. I don't think he's going to be able to follow the words that you're in there. On one of the pages, we use the word helter skelter. And she said, I don't think kids that young are going to know what those words mean. And so she asked her son, it was on this page with some of Nancy's fine art, abstract art. And her grandson says, oh, I know what helter skelter means. That means all messed up. And so our book had passed a preschooler. Our book had passed a ninth grader. But the teacher says she could not use the book because it was not scientifically correct. So Dr. West gave us time to redo it. And so Nancy painted new art. We had to go through the book and find out where we had used pictures of her art incorrectly. And so for the next month or so, we redid the book. And if anything I can say to you who are planning to publish, work with an established publisher. Even if it's an independent publisher, they know that it's important to check your work before you order loads of copies to be sold. How embarrassing would it have been for us to take these books to schools. So you could use this book. And they say, it's not right. I can't use it in my classroom. Whatever I use in my classroom has to support my teaching. And so that's sort of where we got to be with Rainbow Reminders. You want the next step now?
Yeah, Miss Anna. So you and Nancy collaborated on this project. How was that process?
She lives in California. I live in Western Michigan. So we met on Zoom. Most days we worked in a PowerPoint program and shared a screen. She would pull up pictures of her artwork. I had set up my poem on different pages in the PowerPoint slide program, and we would look to see how the pictures either matched, supported, or expanded what I was saying on the page. And the opening section says that if you have just one color, it's boring. And so we looked for pictures that looked like someone who was bored, and we just had a single color. Other places she says, well, I've got this artwork that I think would be beautiful in the book. And here's some photos that I've taken at a waterfall. I said, how can we use that with the book? And so it was back and forth. And we met probably daily for 6 weeks, not every day, looking at her artwork, looking at the words, looking at the balance, and then to see what would look good and what size book would be appropriate for the age group that we targeted and for the artwork that we were going to use.
Miss Anna, I know you did you put forth some effort on this project. You know, one of the things we try to do when we're working on books is have people to review our content before we finally put it out. Did you have the opportunity and I don't want to say and the time, did you make the time to have beta readers? And what was the benefit of having beta readers? And what are beta readers?
Okay, beta readers, it's from the Greek alphabet, alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta. Alpha is you, the writer, the author. Beta usually is the second step where you share your writing with others and not necessarily pay them for doing that work. And I had about 6 beta readers. Some of them were classroom teachers. Probably the most specific one was my sister, who is good about telling me what I don't do well. And I respect her enough. Almost every book that I've published, the 7 textbooks that I've published with Rowman and Littlefield, the 3 or 4 books that I have self-published, and then also the work that I've begun to submit to Dr. West, I always have 3 to 5 people read it before I send it to someone to be published. And sometimes I have to pay. I won't say I have to, I choose to pay to have it done. Sometimes I exchange or barter skills for it, but having someone else read before you submit to publishing is probably the best hurdle to jump in the process.
Thank you, Miss Anna. I know typically my gift to a beta reader is a final copy, a final signed copy of the book mailed to them. You maybe a postcard or a bookmark, a really nice bookmark or something, because everybody likes a bookmark in their book so they don't have to, what they call it, doggy ear your pages, bend your pages over and abuse your book. I think it's abuse to fold your pages over, but I am guilty. I have done it when I just did not have I did not have a bookmark. So Miss Anna, share with us who your book is for, because some people may say, oh, this is just for children. Share with us who your book is for and how it can benefit even beyond that.
Okay, thank you for asking. After we publish a book, the next thing is how do you sell it and how do you promote it? And as I began to look at the book, I thought about the way that I taught when I was teaching full time. I often used art to teach. And sometimes we take a romp through the book. I would ask them to choose any pages, 5 pages from page 1 to the last page of the book, look at those pages and decide to do something with it. And often the deciding to do something with it was something that we had studied that week. For example, if you have children or grandchildren, Sunday school students who are preschoolers, who are not yet reading and writing, they still can use the book by finding words that begin with the same name as their own name, and then write those words. They're practicing reading, recognition, and writing. You may, on the other hand, have a middle school student who is learning called reader response. In reader response, students are expected to state their answer, their position, their claim, and then support it with at least 3 examples. So you may have a student who says, that picture makes me feel funny. And also, well, what about that picture makes you feel funny? Give me 3 examples of how that book makes you feel funny. Or you may be teaching the students the 5 senses. So you may ask them to turn to a page that has a nature scene, take us to that place, and appeal to all 5 senses. You may ask the student to write them. If they're doing homework at home, you may just ask them to talk about it. It increases the student's ability to support their answers with specifics from a book. You may have a high school student, maybe in 9th grade or 10th grade, where they're expected to write short stories. You would have them turn to a page with a picture of people, choose a person who will be the main character in your story, and do a plot line. A plot line includes the person's attempt to solve the problem. So you always have 3. How did he try to solve it himself? Who came to help him? What ethical or moral decision did your character have to make in order to solve that problem? Again, going back to rainbow reminders, looking at the words on the page, looking at the pictures, you can extend and expand. And I came up with 10 activities, step by step, that a non-classroom teacher can do at home. And I call it the stream. S, science. T, technology. R, religion. E, English. A, the arts. M, math and music, because one of the assignments asked the students to pick songs that would go with the pictures. So to extend, we call it go the extra mile. This can be more than a single reading for children, preschoolers, elementary, middle school, even high school, but also senior citizens. Many of you in your church communities visit seniors. Take the book with you. Read them the story. Invite them to talk about their rainbow days, their rainy days, so it can spark and expand learning and giving thanks to God who gave us the rainbow.
Ms. Anna, as you were talking, I was thinking about the fact that sometimes people think, oh, it's a children's book, and so it's for children. And there's a quote that says, if your book is only for children, it's not going to be for anyone. Because first of all, think about it. Children aren't buying their own books.
Not at all.
So somebody has to decide to purchase that book, check out the resources to determine if it's a good fit for their children. And I know as a parent, I thoroughly enjoyed reading books to my children, and I enjoyed the books that I read. So I fully agree with that quote. And so I can see this book being a significant resource
Right.
across platforms, across ages.
Mhm, mhm.
The way it is written is very simplified, but the activities expanded. And I think, you're one of the few people that I know that said, hey, I did a book. It's not going to just be just a book, because there's so much more value beyond the book. And so I want to say to those of you all who are thinking about becoming a book author and you want to sell 1 million books, let me squelch it right here, that the likelihood that you will be selling 1 million books is slim. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No, because there's only a small, minute percentage of the population who does write books that make that status. However, what you can do if you decide to write a book is tap into either your research to become a self-publisher, a small company like my own, which is Jetnay Publishing, or if you just don't want to do nothing and you want to give out the big bucks, you have the opportunity to go to a traditional publishing company. There's somebody that's going to help you, but never go in it thinking that your goal is to make $1 million or sell a million books. I would say, as a Christian faith-based author and a vessel being used by the Lord, the objective is for your book to reach one. And if your book reaches one, you are on the trajectory for your book to reach even more. And even if when you're doing your book and you're getting out there with your book, it's kind of slow, don't give up. Most people fail because they give up. You have to do your due diligence. So Miss Anna, let me ask you, with my having said that, what is your due diligence to put your effort into your book going places, getting it into hands?
I've done a couple of things. One of them was take a walk on Tuesday with a woman here who teaches Spanish. I took her a copy of my book and some of the assignments. She says, you know what? I can use that book to teach my Spanish students. I can have them look at a page and talk about that page using the language that I'm teaching them. The first things you teach in a new language are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. This book is full of pictures of people doing things. And she says, I can use that teaching Spanish. And she teaches preschoolers, elementary school students. Her oldest student is 75 years old. She can hardly wait to show him this book and encourage him to use his Spanish to talk about this. And so my goal is to get the book into the hands of people who interact regularly with others, have it be a springboard for conversation. And as soon as we finish today, I'll be going to a homeschool bookstore to encourage them to carry the book and to get the packet of lessons where moms and dads, grandparents, whoever's teaching at home, can plan once a week. Rainbow Day, we're going to do something with rainbow reminders. That's it.
Yeah, that's real good, Miss Anna. And here's the thing, you heard Miss Anna. You have to start looking outside of yourself, because once people that you know purchase that book, or your friends purchase that book, then what are you going to do? Stop selling your book? You have to broaden your perspective. And Miss Anna, listen, y'all, she got so much insight behind her. I'm always, I tell my people, I be like, I have a meeting with Miss Anna. I know I need my notebook and I need my pen, but what I love about Miss Anna, she is thorough, y'all. When we finish, she sends me an after action report. I don't have to send her one. I'd be like, oh man, Miss Anna be on it. And that's what you're going to have to do if you want your book to do well. It will not just do well on its own. So you're going to have to do the work. Miss Anna is doing the work. We are getting this done, and we are believing that this book is going to be in many hands. Miss Anna, tell everybody how they can get a copy of the book, where the proceeds for the book are going. And we do have a link for the book that will be put up on our social platforms today. And if anyone wants the book and you purchase the book within 24 hours, you can also get the activity sheet that Miss Anna has with 10 different activities for $3.99. You can get it for $3.99 along with the cost of the book. Go ahead, Miss Anna.
Well, the question is, how can you get the book?
Yes.
Go online. Amazon carries it. Go to Jackney Publishing website. If you come to my website, you'll see the book on Amazon. And because Nancy, my collaborator, and I were doing this to learn the process, we decided that since Dr. West chose to carry our book, that we would have the royalties to support the Kenyan projects with young people in the country of Kenya. And so your purchase of this book through Jackney Publications or through Amazon will be supporting the education of young people in another country. And so, yes, we benefit from selling our book, because if we have a book that sells well, people are likely to buy our next book. But this particular book will be sold to benefit the student program in Kenya. And Nancy, my co-author Nancy White, was just as excited about it as I am, because she too is an educator, and we know books teach the teacher and the student.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Miss Anna has given us some great perspective about who she is, what she does, how she does it, and her wonderful book. Listen, y'all, get a copy. You got some nieces, nephews, some grandchildren. Miss Anna has the right copy, y'all. I have the wrong copy. Remember, she talked about the wrong copy and the right copy. So I have the wrong copy. She has the right copy with the red at the top. So that will be the book that everyone will be getting. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I just wanted y'all to see what the wrong one looks like. But all the content inside this one is right, even though the cover is wrong. But this has been a great experience, Miss Anna. I am just believing that great things are going to happen with this book, and you're going to be out there. You're going to be jumping on platforms. You're going to be talking. You're going to be sharing. You're going to be motivating children, young adults, senior citizens, church houses, school, homeschoolers, that this book is going to have a great trajectory because you are doing the work.
Thank you for the opportunity to do it under the umbrella of Jackney Publishing.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Remember, you can, if you're not didn't get into this one, you can find us on YouTube at Dr. Annette West, and you can also go to Jackney Publishing. I'm sure it's going to be on some other platforms today as well, because we're going to be promoting this as many places as we can, because if you don't show up, I like to say these three things. If you don't show up, people don't know you exist. If you don't speak up, people don't know you have something to say. And if you don't show it, people don't know you have a product. So guess what, y'all? Miss Anna did what today? She showed up, she spoke up, and she shared it. So listen, we couldn't ask for any more. Thank you, Miss Anna.
Thank you, Dr. Annette.
So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and catch us for the next thing that we'll be doing. Miss Anna is also, she didn't tell y'all this, but she is also working on a new novel, y'all. And we will be publishing that under Jackney. She actually has a 10-minute audio of the first chapter. And so we're going to be posting that with a link where you can listen to it, and hopefully that will get your intellectual thought processes going to reach in and purchase a pre-copy of that book. But that information will be coming. But right now, you know what I need y'all to do? Boom, get the correct version
Okay.
of the rainbow reminders. Thank you so much, Cedric. Thanks for coming in, Sean, Gina. I saw Miss Barbara was here, but her audio didn't connect, so she headed out. But thank you, everybody, for coming into Zoom. Those of you I see on YouTube, thank you so much, and on Facebook. And we will catch you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Get it?